Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater. And you guys remember the 2017 Netflix original movie Bright starring Will Smith and Joel Edgerton? This was, according to Max Landis, the writer and creator of the franchise, meant to be the next Star Wars. The Dungeons and Dragons esque type world set within a modern day Los Angeles, rife with all of the problems facing society, rich, poor, white, black, everything in between. I thought was actually a really fun movie. I quite enjoyed it. Critics tore it to shreds, but critics kind of tear every Netflix movie to shreds. They really do. If you go and look at a lot of the Rotten Tomato scores for Netflix original films, they tend to get hurt pretty bad, right? Not all of them are that bad, but they do tend to get that way. Anyway, Bright was always meant to set up this world, this multi-film world, and it's been over 2 years since the last one came out, and we haven't heard much about the sequel ever since Max Landis was Me Too'd, and David Ayer decided to kind of move on to other things. But today, we're hearing that apparently Netflix is in talks with Louis Leterrier, if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize, to direct the Bright sequel. Now, that's cool, because I always felt that Leterrier did a great job on The Incredible Hulk. I feel that he did a good job in that movie, and he's done a good job in a lot of the other action films that he's worked on, and I'd like to see him do something like this. I think he would make it maybe a lot more fun. But still being able to maintain a bit of the dark and gritty nature of the world they're trying to showcase. Saying here, taking place in an alternate Los Angeles filled with humans, orcs, elves, fairies, and more, David Ayer's Bright was a huge hit for Netflix, so much so that the streaming service quickly ordered a sequel, but we haven't heard anything about it for over a year. Deadline is now reporting that Netflix is negotiating with Louis Leterrier, better known for Now You See Me, Clash of the Titans, and The Transporter, with helming the Bright sequel. Now, that's awesome, but it does go on to talk a bit more about why David Ayer left the franchise. Saying here that Ayer was attached to direct it, but he's reportedly been focusing on rewriting The Dirty Dozen for Warner Brothers and has other projects in the works at Netflix. The sequel to Bright will once again star Will Smith as Ward and Joel Edgerton as Jacoby, the latter of whom happens to be the first orc to join the LAPD, and not much more is known about it, with the exception that the script was penned by Ayer and Evan Spiliotopoulos, I can't even pronounce that, who wrote Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, the new one coming up, and the guy who did The Maze Runner is contributing to the rewrite. So obviously, Max Landis is not involved in this in any way, and there are going to be people out there that are going to come out and be all like, Netflix, you did it. I don't quite know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. I feel he's a talented writer, and this is his baby. And even though there's allegations against him, if it's like, just maybe, I don't know, maybe they shouldn't do it. You know, if he's not involved, then just don't do it. It's like no one's going to sit there and shed a tear that Bright 2 didn't happen. Really. I like the movie quite a bit, and Netflix clearly backed the film. They had spent $3 million buying the script from Landis. They did. They put in another $90 million for the budget, and this was one of the first big budget Netflix original films to come out. And it kind of came out, and it kind of went with not much of anything. I know people saw it. I watched it the moment I could. I reviewed it the moment I could, and I liked it. But again, as I just said, it's like without the original people involved, I'm kind of a little iffy on whether or not, it's going to be decent. Accusations aside sort of thing. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see how it goes. We'll have to wait and see what happens with it. I am, cautiously optimistic if Leterrier, can never pronounce his name right, is on it. Because again, Now You See Me 2 were good. Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans I thought were a lot of fun, and The Transporter is one of my all-time favorite Statham films, even if the sequels were not as good. And I really want to see what he's able to come up with. Ayer as a writer-director, I think works better because he understands what he wants to write. Like Fury and I think it's like, what is it, the one he did with Jake Gyllenhaal? Is it like End of Shift or something? I forget what that one was called. With Michael Pena. That was really good. I just can't think of the name right now. He's good at writing and directing his own work. Suicide Squad was one he got kind of hosed on because he only had 6 weeks to write the script, and then Warner's kind of took it over from him in the edit bay. So the fact that he's back now at Warner's working on the Dirty Dozen remake goes to show you that these things in Hollywood happen, and he's still not going to turn down a paycheck and the ability to write and direct another movie with a major studio. So Zack Snyder being completely ousted from Warner Brothers, they never want to work with them again, I feel that's a bit of a load of crap, because Ayer has gone on the record multiple times as saying, if I could talk about my experience working on Suicide Squad, I would never work in Hollywood ever again. And yet here he is writing a remake of the Dirty Dozen for Warner Brothers, just to give you a bit of an idea of where things find themselves. However, I do want to hear you guys' thoughts on this one. Do you feel that they should do this? Do you feel that they should just scrap the project entirely without Max Landis' contribution? Or it doesn't even matter to you? Do you care at all? I want to hear your thoughts and hear your opinions on this one. I will talk to you guys about this later. Have yourself a great day. Thank you again for watching and subscribing and all that jazz. And peace out.